Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of the Velvet Lounge Life. And yes, this is the Charmstring Garland Community Worldwide Tribute Project. And it is growing. There's more to it than what I'm showing you here, but it is definitely growing. So I will just give you a mini tour of what's going on, and thank you to each and every individual that donated anything to this project. I really appreciate it, and because of you, this is progressing along. We had donations. That's my dog's little Bobby Bear. But we had donations of bits and bobs, as well as buttons, of course. And yes, the buttons are made of a variety of materials, different sizes, etc. And notice how I stacked some of the buttons. What I tried to do is sort of marry the buttons up so that they can sort of show each other off a bit. And I tried to spread out the colorations so that, for example, I don't have a bunch of green buttons next to each other, a bunch of blues next to each other, a bunch of metals next to each other, etc. I really want this to look like a Charmstring tribute garland that, once again, as I said before, represents the world. There's another bit and bob. Yes, there are moon glow buttons. You name it, I am adding it to this project. And something that I did, I'm not sure how I'm going to incorporate this. That is actually a sterling silver heart with, I think it's more black rhinestones, with black rhinestones in it. Really cool. Let's see if I can show it to you a little bit better. That was a generous addition to the project. And yes, of course, this is a little sailboat pendant that was made out of, I think, like Sculpey clay, I think is what they call it. It was made out of that. You know me, most of my crafts involve buttons, so this is like some sort of torpedo thing. So I figured, hey, a military representation, since we have so many family members that were or are in the military. Yeah, the list goes on. Let's see, anything else interesting I could show you on this one? I have several religious, I call them relics, pendants, etc. Several of those. And yes, as you are looking at, this one is basically, this piece I should say, is basically all metals, and these are Waterbury Button Company buttons. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to incorporate this into this giant charm string. I have an idea that it might be something that goes on the handrail. And let's see, I can show you this part. Chandelier crystals that I actually took apart because, like, hanging the entire setup the way it was created with, like, I think there was like 4 pieces or something, it would just hang way too low, so I just, sort of use pieces of it here and there. And are we getting to the end? Where are you ending? Oh, there we are, back at the sailboat. So I am also going to, I received a couple pieces of mail this week. One wasn't picked up until today because I was basically on the road all day long, and at this point it is almost 1:30 in the morning here, but I am wide awake and not even undressed yet or scrubbed up in the shower or anything. So I decided, I feel like creating this video, let me do it now. And one of the things you can please remember to do is to help us by subscribing to our channel, giving us a thumbs up. It really does help YouTube identify that this is content that people care about. And also, of course, share our videos. And we have lots of other videos and subjects that we cover. But thank you for visiting the Velvet Lounge. And now I'm going to take you guys on a miniature field trip to show you some other cool things. And also I have a really important announcement, like really important, and I think it's kind of cool. And it's all because of you guys that this is even a possibility. So I am going to talk about that in just a moment, so please stay tuned. And someone asked me if I was adding fabric buttons to this charm string, and I am. These are 2 gingham pink and white cloth buttons, and you can see right in the center how I have to sort of sew the wire through. I hope that this video comes out well. I don't know how it looks to you guys, but it's looking a little fuzzy to me. But anyway, so yes, I am. And then there are someone asked me if I was looking for Charmstring buttons. And this is a green rhinestone one. So yes, I am. Like I said, whatever you guys can spare, I greatly appreciate. I do want to send some special shout outs. One is to my sister-in-law in Alaska. You are a superstar. Thank you so much. If you could have seen the look on your brother's face when he saw that we had received your packages, he was just like, oh, my sister. And then he's like, I'm a triplet. And I just thought it was hilarious. And I sent you that picture, the photo that he actually allowed me to take. It was really funny. But anyway, thank you to my friend and pen pal in Arizona. Thank you. As well as a new friend that I met. Her name is Jill. She promised a package. It hasn't gotten here yet, but I'm sure it will. So in advance, I want to thank her, and I will mention some others when we start talking about the special situation that may occur, and I think it's cool. So I will be back in just a short moment. So I'm back. I had to make a mad dash throughout our house to do something really quick. But, so as you can see, I'm in the process of stringing along some more buttons. Yes, there's a key. That's a bob. I stacked some buttons here at the end. As you can see, and you can see how what I do at the very beginning are the first buttons that I am putting on. I usually create a stack of buttons, and obviously they graduate from smaller to largest, and sometimes what I'll do is put something decorative right there at the end where you see that wire. But I, of course, with this project, am not doing that because I will connect this particular set to the longer chain or garland that I'm creating. So that's why there's not a decorative, I will even call it a finial at the end. But what I do with the first stack like this is like from here to here, is I will double of course this is all double wired, as you guys can see. Actually, can you see this wire here? It's double wired. But what I do with the first stack of buttons is I double that up again, just to make sure it's a really secure anchor. And then, of course, the threading of the buttons begins. And as I told you guys, color is the key. And we had a wonderful, wonderful individual send us a beautiful rainbow set of buttons, is what I'm calling them. And so it gave me a lot of really nice colors to work with, because that is what I was running out of the most, as well as running. And yes, my hands are very dry because I had to wash them numerous times after coming home, being out in the world. So that's something to remember, you guys, with this virus. When you come home, make sure you wash your hands. My husband works at a hospital, so he will tell you that as a medical professional, to wash your hands. But anyway, and then there was just a really nice variety of buttons that was sent to me as well for this project. And I'm telling you guys, I'm using everything I can get my hands on. I had to order more wire, and I'm still waiting for that. And it's a second order. I'm still waiting for it to come in. So hopefully it gets here soon, because I really want to continue the momentum on this. And so something really cool I wanted to tell you guys about is the potential future home of this Charmstring. Now, I don't know if that, look at that pretty orange moon glow. I don't know if it will be a permanent home, or if it will be a temporary home on borrow, is what they call it. Are any of these terms familiar yet? Did you guess what I'm going to say? A docent might, talk about this, and I will write up a little dossier on the project so that, people know why it exists and why it was done and where participants came from, as well as you know, I'm going to have name tags hanging off of this. No one's last name will be revealed. And as I stated, it will just have a first name, or if you just are like, instead of calling me Margaret, call me Peggy. That will happen. So no one will ever be able to locate who you are, or where you live, or anything like that. It will simply, and I showed you guys an example before, just be your name, your state, or it could be like, Tempe, Arizona, like something like that. Or if you are from France, it might say Nice, France. But that's it. And like I said, just a first name. So the great thing is you will be represented in this project, and hopefully you guys have figured out a clue of what I'm going to say, but I will tell you now, all will be revealed. I am talking to someone that works at a museum. Yes, everyone, this might end up in a museum. And they would display it with a story, which is obviously meaning the reasons why I wanted to create this at this particular time with all that's going on in the world, or especially here in the United States. And the idea, which it is, and this is the whole purpose, was unity, something to bring joy, bring us together, make us smile, from an implement that is considered pretty insignificant to 90% of the world. and look at what this little tiny gem, aka a button, can do. And so I am talking to them, and like I said, I don't know, and they don't know either. Obviously, they have to talk to other people, etc., etc., and it could take a while to get through this. But, you know, they're going to see about displaying it, when it's appropriate to display it, as well as, is it something they would keep? Is it, you know, can I donate it to them? Or is it something that they would just take on borrow, like they would borrow it, give it back? And what could happen is every year they would borrow it and it would be displayed so that lots and lots and lots of people can see it. So I am super excited to have this be something that truly is a unifier. Definitely is. And also something that, you know, people can learn more about. And I will also include a story about the Charmstring. History is what I mean about Charmstring history. But, you know, the idea is obviously this is not trying to be Victorian or anything like that. Yes, it might have some Victorian buttons in it, but it also has buttons in it that were probably made a year or two ago. So that is my exciting announcement. I'm just happy for the opportunity. Whether it ever happens or not is obviously something beyond my control. However, I am willing to, because that's why when that opportunity came around, I was like, yes, sure, yeah, that sounds great. Yes, let's do it. And so, like I said, if it happens, it's amazing, it's awesome. But if it doesn't happen, I'm still, you know, tickled pink at the fact that anyone would even consider this something that they would want to display in a museum. So some people will ask me, what's the name of the museum? Where is it located? That I cannot reveal yet, because everything is just right now a conversation. And really, it's nothing to do with me. It's like up to them to decide. And obviously, they build collections or at least exhibits. So if it's not anything that they feel they can use, obviously they will let me know that. But like I said, either way, I'm just excited about the fact that anyone else even cares besides us outside of the world of buttons. So thank you guys for helping this become something that's possible. And now, even more than ever, it's important that, yes, you get your name on this project. And for those who have already donated, and some people donated before the project started, and they had sent me buttons on occasion, and you are included in this. I just want you to know, because I feel like it's only fair. And I am using buttons that you donated as well, or you gave to me as gifts or whatever. So, you know, I'm just trying to be as inclusive as humanly possible. And also, if you guys want something that I thought about, is with the Waterbury Button Company buttons, I have some where I have several of them. And if you want to send me some of your buttons that are like what you see in this picture, I can send you some of these, or some of these, or some of these, those, some of these, some of those, some of these, some of those, or these are the larger version of this. These are small, these are large. How about them? Those are really pretty, the swirl ones, and they're kind of unique. And they're not plentiful either, but I happen to have a lot of them. And maybe some of those. I use these more for like spacers in between on Charmstrings. But I can definitely, if you know, you're like, well, I just don't want to like donate buttons to this project, then I can, you know, do a swap with you for some of what you see in this picture. If you can just tell me which of these you want, I can, you know, do a first class package out to you of some of these. And believe me, I will send you an ample amount, what I consider to be ample anyway, but plenty of them. Believe me, I have plenty. And these are the buttons I have the most repeats of. So let me know if that's something you're interested in, if it helps you make up your decision to participate in the project. Trading is allowed. I can't buy anything, but I can trade, other than wire, obviously. But I can trade you for buttons. Also, I have a package of bits and bobs that I was going to open, but I'm not going to open it on camera, of course, that I received today. And I'm going to go open that up in a few minutes before I get ready to totally decompress for, okay, it's morning here now, but for, I will call it the evening. And I had a great time hanging out with my child all day and all night. And it is amazing to have a blessed relationship with your kid. I've been blessed to always have that, my husband and I, with our child from the second that she was born. Not so much did I have that with my personal parents, but I didn't even know it was possible, honestly, but it is such a blessing every time. It's crazy. I gave birth to my child, obviously, but I just like look at her, stare at her, listen to her, and I'm just like, wow, what we created. So amazing. Thank you to the gods and Mother Nature. And anyway, you guys have a wonderful day, a great morning, and please stay tuned for more information and updates, as well as please remember once again to subscribe to the channel, thumbs up it, share the videos, please. It really does help. And also remember that your health is your wealth, and without your health, you have absolutely nothing. So please, please, please take care of yourselves and have a wonderful, wonderful day.